Hello, and welcome to Three Questions with. I got my friend Don McGee, the nutrition evangelist, with us. Good morning, Don. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks so much for having me.
So, Don, I want to pull something out of the news today to talk about with all the fires and the air pollution. Should the average person be concerned about this?
Absolutely. It's these things that you can't see that are intangible that cause the long-term issues, right? We know that if we could see smoke and you can smell it, that you want to be careful. But we also know that we're having some impact to our air quality from the wildfires. And it's those teeny tiny microscopic particles that you can't see that get into your lungs, into your bloodstream, and cause systemic inflammation. And you may be saying, okay, Don, you're a nutritionist. Why are we talking about this? But it's the inflammation from the environmental stuff, from the foods we eat that that marry together and put us at a higher risk for these chronic diseases that really are preventable if we make some changes in our lifestyles.
How do we protect ourselves, Don? Do we just stay in the house?
Well, so they've been saying, and this is not my area of expertise, obviously, that, if you've got some of those N95 masks left over, that those are good. Um, Air filters are good. I'm a huge fan of fresh air, especially as the temperature gets to be fresh air weather. But they're saying keep those windows closed for a couple of days until the winds change and hopefully the fires get under control. Don't go for a run outside if you've got some underlying conditions. Like my son has asthma, and I'm like, well, you know what? I know it's hard, but work out in the house. Do the treadmill, ride the Peloton, do something so that it's better for you long term. And at the same time, if you know that you're exposed to some inflammatory stuff, clean up your diet a little bit more. Just a little bit more, right? Because if you're getting inflammation from one area, reduce it in another area so that you're not doubling down on the long term negative impacts.
You always sneaking that diet stuff in on me, Don. Chuckle, chuckle. but
Oh, sorry, Kevin.
but all kidding aside, it does make perfect sense, especially if you already have things like asthma. To be cautious about what you're doing and the amount of time you're spending outside.
It's causing stress to your system. And so we've had a very busy couple of weeks. My kiddo graduated from high school. And so when you're at a higher level of stress, your body is in an inflammatory state. And so I made a point of eating cleaner in those days leading up to it, you know, gluten, dairy, alcohol, refined sugars, what we call green light meals, right? Eliminate the inflammatory stuff. And then of course when we had the celebration and the big gorgeous cake, of course I'm going to have that. But you do what you can to balance the impacts so that it's not an all or nothing proposition.
So, Don, if people have further questions about this, what's the best way to reach out to you? How can I learn more?
Hop over to my website, donmcgee.guru, or find me on Facebook, Don McGee Nutrition Evangelist.
Don, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call into the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Evan,